जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदा यमुना तीरा वनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय गंधर्विका गिरिधारी गंधर्विका गिरिधारी जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय जय गौरंगिता 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 जय गौरंगिता जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। ध्यान 1.2.15 भागवतम। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Thank you very much. So we are reading from Canto 1, Chapter 2, and the Canto 1 is, what is the title of the Canto 1? Creation. Chapter 2, Divinity and Divine Service. Shloka number 15. Yeah, so shloka, your handheld devices, are you able to get the shloka? 1.2.15. Yad anudhyasina yukta karma granthi nibandanam chindanti kovidastasya ko kuryat katharatim. यद अनुध्यासिन युक्ता कर्म ग्रंथि निबंधनम छिन्दन्ति कोविदस्तस्य को न कुर्यात् कथारतिम। यद अनुध्यासिन युक्ता कर्म ग्रंथि निबंधनम छिन्दन्ति कोविदस्तस्य को न कुर्यात् कथारतिम। प्रभु यद अनुध्यासिन युक्ता कर्म ग्रंथि निबंधनम छिन्दन्ति कोविदस्तस्य को न कुर्यात् कथारतिम। यद अनुदासीन युक्ता कर्म ग्रंथि निबंधनम छिन्दन्ति कोविदस्तस्य को न कुर्यात् कथारतिम। यद अनुदासीन युक्ता कर्म ग्रंथि निबंधनम चिंदन्ति कोविदस्तस्य को न कुर्यात् तथापि। माता जी, यदानुदासीना युक्ता कर्म ग्रंथि निबंधनम चिंदन्ति कोविदस्तस्य को न कुर्यात् तथापि। यदानुदासीना युक्ता कर्म ग्रंथि निबंधनम चिंदन्ति कोविदस्तस्य को न कुर्यात् तथापि। यद अनुदासीना युक्ता कर्म ग्रंथि निबंधनम चिंदन्ति कोविदस्तस्य को न कुर्यात् तथापि। So what mean? Be attentive. Yat, which. Anudhyaya is like dhyana, means remembrance. Anudhyaya, remembrance. Asina, sword. Yuktaha, being equipped with. Karma, reactionary work. Granthi, knot. Nibandhanam, internet. Chindanti, cut. Kovidaha, intelligent. Tasya, his. Ka, who. Na, not. Kuryat, shall do. Katha, message. Messages. Ratim, attention. So translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki, maybe you can keep your handheld device little aside, and from this word to word meaning, what is the translation of this shloka without referring to your handheld devices. That's why I said be attentive. What could be you can rephrase it, not necessarily exactly as it is. We have CCTV checking who is seeing, and we have centralized the CCTV. Paramatma is checking that who is following the translation. Okay, anybody? Yan anudhasina. Dhasina means remembrance. Asina means sword. Yukta is okay. Karma grantha nibandhim. The knots of the karma. Chindanti. Cut. Kovidas means intelligent. Kon kuryat katharatim. Kon hai jo who will not hear that. Okay. Now, yes, Dayal going from बोलिए क्या translation हो सकता है? The remembrance of the God. What will it do? It will cut all the karma. Okay. Kovida. Those who are not intelligent, they will not. Kon kuryat katha rathim. Kon hai, who is that who will not have interest to hear katha rathim. Rathim means attachment. Mataji said, you want to add something, Mataji? Prabhu ne jo translation there. Okay, let's. Remembrance. Karma Granthi. So this is the essence of this shloka, that Anu Dhasina. Anu means, there are two meanings of Anu. Anu means two meanings. To follow and always. Anu Dhasina. Dhasina means remembrance. So Anu, then which Anu will use here? Always. Always remember Krishna, and then with that, with the sword of the remembrance of our dear Lord Bhagavan Sri Krishna, we will be able to Chindanti. Where is the Chindanti word comes in Bhagavad Gita? Somewhere comes, right? Shloka number .2, some other digit there. Nainam chiddanti shasrani, nainam dahati pavaka, na chainam kledayanti apo, na shoshati maruta. You know, Gaurav, 2.23. It's very wonderful shloka. Let's read translation and purport. So now you can use your handheld device. You are free to. You can repeat. With sword in hand, intelligent men, of course, woman as well, cut through the binding knots of reactionary work. In bracket, Prabhupada writes karma. By remembering the personality of Godhead. Therefore, who will not pay attention to his message? H as capital. His means whose? Lord. So who will be there? Who will not give any attention to his? No. Kona kuryat katharatim. So at the end of this today's discussion, we should have these things. Kona kuryat, kona kuryat, kona kuryat. What does it mean? Who will not pay attention to H as in capital, his messages. So not Google message or chat message or WhatsApp message, but our dear Lord Sri Krishna's message, purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The contact of the spiritual spark with material elements creates a knot which must be cut if one wants to be liberated from the actions and reactions of Kuti works. So Prabhupada, when he was writing the purport for Srimad Bhagavatam, it was early stage, and he has not even gone to United States of America. So here he is using the word people can understand English. So he's saying the action and reaction instead of saying karma. Liberation means freedom from the cycle of reactionary work. He did not say karma phala, but reactionary work. This liberation automatically follows for one who constantly remembers the transcendental pastimes of the personality of Godhead. This is because all the activities of the Supreme Lord, his Leela, are transcendental to the modes of material energy. They are all attractive spiritual activities, and therefore constant association with the spiritual activities of the Supreme Lord gradually spiritualizes the conditioned soul, and ultimately severe cuts removes the knot of material bondage. Liberation from material bondage is therefore a byproduct of devotional service. Attainment of spiritual knowledge is not sufficient to ensure liberation. Such knowledge must be overcoated with devotional service. Overcoated with the devotional service. So that ultimately the devotional service alone predominates. Then liberation is made possible. Even the reactionary work of the fruity workers can lead one to liberation when it is overcoated with devotional service. Overcoated 2 times. Karma overcoated with devotional service is called as karma yoga. Just karma alone is not a karma yoga. Karma along with devotional service is called as karma yoga. Yoga means connecting with Krishna, and if there is no connection to Krishna or devotional service or bhakti, it just becomes a karma. But if you connect to Krishna, then it becomes a karma yoga. So doing all our activities for the pleasure of Lord Sri Krishna. Similarly, empirical knowledge overcoated with the devotional service is called as Jnana Yoga. But pure bhakti yoga is independent of such karma and jnana. Any shloka which talks about that bhakti should be completely free from jnana and karma? Jnana karmadi anavritta anukullena Krishna anusilanam. Where does it come? Right. That is the beginning. But what is the reference? Praman, nectar of devotion. 1. BRS Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.111. So this is the shloka from Rupa Goswami's composition called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is translated in summary things called as nectar of devotion. And this is the foundation definition of bhakti. If somebody asks what is the definition of bhakti, this is the definition of bhakti, which is anya abhilasita shunya jnana karmadi anu jnana karmadi anavruta anukullena krishnanusilanam bhaktir uttama. This is the topmost bhakti. So what is the topmost bhakti? Anya abhilasita shunya. Shunya means zero. Anya, no other. Abhilasha, desire. Anya abhilasita shunya. And it is also jnana karma the anavrutam. Anavrutam is covering. It is not covered by jnana and karma. Anukullena, which is a favorable, Krishnanusilanam, following in the devotional, following in the Guru Parampara, that service or that bhakti is called as Uttama Bhakti. So no desire, no material desire, absolutely shunyam, anadi, anyamilasita shunyam. But pure bhakti yoga is independent of such karma and jnana because it alone can only endow one with the liberation from conditioned life, but also award one the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Therefore, Prabhupada is kind of concluding, therefore, any sensible man, that is a Kovida means intelligent. Any sensible man who is above the average man with the poor fund of knowledge, above the poor, that Prabhupada is saying that, must constantly remember the personality of Godhead by hearing about Him, by glorifying Him, by remembering Him, and by worshipping Him always without cessation, without stopping. And which is also said that 1.2.6 savai punsa paro dharma yathor bhakti adoksache ahituki apratihata means without interpretation, without stopping that, not only on Sunday 11 o'clock or 10:30 but every day continuously. This is the perfect way of devotional service. The Goswamis of Vrindavan, who were authorized by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to preach the bhakti cult, rigidly followed this rule and made immense literature of the transcendental service for our benefit. They have chalked out ways for all classes of men in terms of different castes and orders of life in pursuance of the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam and similar authoritative scriptures. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Rupam Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanchan Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanum Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataru Vishya Krupa Sindhu Vivacha Patitanam Pavani Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatadishatarini Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Karoti Vanchanam Pangam Dangayate Giriyat Kripa Tamaham Vande Sri Guru Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. First of all, thanks to Sabrish Prabhu, Kunal Prabhu, Govind Dayal Prabhu for giving us opportunity to come to Sarjapur Center and discuss about Kona Kurya Katha Rati. Who is that who will not be interested to hear the glories of our dear Lord Bhagavan Sri Krishna? So, so we are in chapter 2, divinity and divine service. So Srila Sutta Goswami begins replying with obeisances, and he answers the questions. Why he started with answering the questions? There is a sadhu sevantra. He's coming. Oh my God. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. When you take the name of sadhu, and when sadhu enters, the sadhu has 100 years, and we also get the auspiciousness because the touch of the sadhu becomes auspiciousness. So we are very fortunate to have His Grace Sadhu Sevan Prabhu along with us. So why this morning we had AECS Lab Center, and His Grace Vamsivadam Prabhu was giving a class, and he was discussing about the fifth canto and the fifth chapter. Fifth canto, there is the discussion about the prayers of Jambudvipa. Jambudvipa as an island. And when the devotees were sitting, so the space was kept. I said, why we have this island here? So like this, we have some island here. Bro, come forward. Nothing will happen. Hare Krishna, bro, please come forward. This is island here. So Jambudvipa. So why Sutta Goswami begins with replying the answers? Because the sages ask the question. It's so simple, right? Because the sages asked the questions, Sutta Goswami started answering those questions. And how many questions he had asked actually? 6 questions. And in 1.2.6 he answered the first questions, and 1.2.7 he answered the second questions. And what is the 1.2.6? I think everybody knows. We just quoted that. Savai Pumsa Paro Dharma. And 1.2.7, which is the second question, which is answered as Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janetashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayat Ahitukam. So Vairagya and Jnana actually the results of Bhakti. So only then Sutta Goswami, so now this is 1.2.15. Before that, Sutta Goswami talks about what is the emphasis of this Varnasrama Dharma, and he quotes very wonderful shloka. Probably some of the devotees may know 1.2.8. Dharma swanustitam pumsa vishvaksena katha suya notpad ediratim srama eva hi kevalam. So whatever the activities that as a Varna and Asrama that we do, the essence of all this activity is Vishwakshena Kathasu. We have to hear the Katha, and it is exactly similar today. So what is that? Kona Kurya Katha Ratim. Who is that on this earthly planet and Bharatavarsha and Bangalore, Sarjapur area, that who will not be interested to hear about the glories or the message HIS, H as in capital, that's the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So he says that if our activities are not directed towards hearing Vishwaksena Katha, so that an attachment to hearing Krishna Katha, then whatever endeavor that we are doing, Srama Eva Hi Kevalam, it is all the labor. It's a useless labor. So no matter, even if you are working early morning 5 o'clock till night 12 o'clock, but if you are not interested to hear Katha, Vishwaksena Katha, so then it is all useless labor. Srila Prabhupada, when he went to Mumbai and the people, he saw that people were so busy, morning 3 o'clock getting up, coming metro or local train all the way to the Mumbai, and then by the time they reach home, it's already 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock. So busy and so working so hard, but where is Vishwaksena? And if there is no Vishwaksena, then what happens? Srama eva hi kevalam. And after that, he talks about the what is the absolute truth, and then how to realize that absolute truth. He says the next shloka, which is also very nice. Ataha pumbhir dvija sreshta varnasrama vibhagasaham swanusitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. So in the previous shloka, it is said that if you cannot have your activities towards Vishwakshena, Then it is a srama evahi kevalam. Then the next sloka he talks about how to realize that absolute truth. All our varna, srama, and vibhagasa, all these activities should be only with one intention, one purpose, and one goal. And that one purpose and one goal is to earn money. Huh? But unfortunately, Sutta Goswami did not say that dabbu kavala, but he said something else. And what is that? Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. All our activities should be mean towards pleasing our dear Lord Hari. Anything else is a srama evahi kevalam. Then how should we act? And that is the last sloka, which is very famous sloka. तस्माद एकेन मनसा भगवान सात्वतां पतिं श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च ध्येयं पूज्यश्च नित्यदाः. The four things which mentioned, we'll discuss later about that four things. So now here, today in this shloka, it is said that what is the benefit of if we engage into these four activities, what is the result of that activity is being mentioned in this shloka. And what is the result of that activity? Which is mentioned in 1.2.14. There are four things mentioned in the 1.2.14. And if you do nityada, means always, and the result of that is what, Dayal Gonpro? What is the result of that? If you hear that, which is the today's shloka? Yes. Chindanti karma nibandhan. So this, the karma granthis that will be there in this life, our material life, will be cut, and that is the result of that. So here Prabhupada begins with that the human society, the contact of the spiritual spark with the material elements creates a knot, and this knot will be chindanti, will be cut only by anudhasina, by remembrance of our dear Lord Krishna, and which act like a sword. It's not the, it is upma, it is upma alankar. It is not like today you take the tomorrow as soon as class is over and the devotees are very inspired, they take a sword and then where is the granthi, the karma granthi, and start cutting. So karma granthi will definitely not cut, but we'll get into more entanglement of that. So we have to be careful. So here it is said, what is the benefit that one may, that the huge, immense storehouse of our karma granthis will be cut. So we are acting either piously or impiously, which has a good result or bad results. Everything creates reactions are the result. And because of that, this karma granthi becomes stronger and stronger and stronger, and then it becomes very, very difficult. So before that, let's begin with what is this karma. When we say karma, karma not only now in India, but all over the world, people understand karma. Even the American people understand karma. Western people, Eastern people, and we as the Indian also understand. So when we say karma, what do you get? What is your understanding of karma? What do you think? Action, reaction, action, reaction, that's all. No reaction, bondage, okay. So many people think that what we think, what we say, what we do, so all these things is related to karma. So karma is associated with our thought, karma is associated with our words, and karma is associated with our actions. So these all things matters. Sometimes we may hear in that in Kali Yuga we have a concession of that if you don't, I mean, if you think anything, you have a concession. Even if you think bad about other things, there is no reaction for that. But please be informed, please be cautious that because today's thought is tomorrow's action, or tomorrow's word and day after tomorrow's action. So it doesn't just stay at only thought process, but the thought becomes word, word becomes action. So this can be seen as a components of karma. Every word we speak is also part of karma. Or what are the other common understanding of the karma that, as Mataji said, that the reactions, what comes back to us, every action, there is an opposite reaction. What goes around comes up. So exactly, just like Srimad Bhagavatam says that if evening there are many cows are there, And the calf, the small calf, even if there are thousands of cows are there, the small calf will exactly find its mother. So that means, so Bhagavatam says that similarly, wherever you go, karma will follow you. You cannot get free from that, or you cannot. Only had one devotee sister marriage in the Telangana or Andhra Pradesh border. And typically, so there is no traffic in that region, but the people we went to attend the marriage and we are associated, we have to get the reactions of traffic jam, right? And it was a place in Telangana, I don't know, it starts with K. Okay, whatever. Maybe, I don't know. So, okay. So we went there and we attended the marriage and we are returning home. So morning there was no traffic jams. And as we started, there was a rally of TDP. And because of the TDP rally, the whole city, there was a traffic jam. And one of the devotees said that wherever you go, karma will follow that. Just like that Hutch. You have seen that Hutch advertisement. Wherever you follow the network, wherever you go, the network will follow. Karma will exactly follow you, no matter, even if you try to escape. Okay, if not in Bangalore, it will catch you in Andhra Pradesh and put you into the traffic jam. So it is there. Whatever what goes around comes around. Duty. Everybody has to do their duty. That is also one understanding of karma. One is an action, one is a reaction, moral responsibility. Yesterday we had we went to the school to distribute books, and we are discussing the small kids 6, 7, 8, 9 standard, and they said what is the use of this Bhagavad Gita, and the small kids, was surprised to know that Bhagavad Gita will teach us the moral life. I said, wow. So karma also teaches us about the morality. And finally, cause and effect. In modern language, karma often means which comes back to you. For every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. If you go to the other part of the country or other part of the world, and you happen to meet a person who does not have any understanding of karma, he says that you people, Indian people, believe this karma. Karma, I don't think that it is a scientific theory. What would be your response? Karma is a universal. Karma is applicable to everybody. Do you agree with that? But you are questioned. You are questioned with the person, Western country or anybody. He says that karma philosophy, I don't believe in karma. So how do you respond to that? He said, no, I don't believe in your Shastra. For example? Okay. Very good. So whether you know or you do not know, there is action and there is a reaction. So for example, the child comes from the school and he has some scratch on his back. The mother will ask, what is the first thing mother will ask? How did you get it? What is the cause of that? If you get good marks in school, so what is the cause of that? Study that. If you do not get the good marks of that, that means what is the cause of that? You didn't study well. If you go to Ayurvedic doctor, doctor said, if you say, doctor, I have some problem. What is the question doctor will ask? What did you eat last night, right? So that is so simple. You don't have to be Western countries or you have to read the scripture, that we understand in our day-to-day life there is a cause and there is a effect. Without if, because if there is a stomach ache, the doctor asks what is the cause for that. If you do not study, he asks what is the, if you do not get good result, he asks what is the cause for that. So you probably we may now term that philosophy as a karma philosophy, but karma philosophy is universal. Whether you like it, you do not like, you accept it, you do not accept it. It is universal and it is applicable to everyone. Even if small child, he says that I don't believe in your karma, but if he puts that, he actually get a reaction. So it is very scientific, and that doesn't matter that whether you know it or no. And karma as a law, it's very complicated. No one can escape from the laws of karma. So sometimes the karma can be very confusing because it has multiple meanings. It means karma as an action, karma as reaction, karma as a duty, karma as a moral responsibility. So similarly, the karma can be in different contexts. Oh, that is my karma. So what it means? Reactions of that. Oh, this is our karma to perform some duty. So it's the difference. It is very complex, and that is why our dear Lord Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 4.17, he says that this karma is very Gahana, very complicated. And the shloka here is 4.17 for my reference. Karmanayopi bodhavyam bodhavyecha vikarmanaha akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gati gahana. Gahana means very complicated. It's not so easy. Of course, principle is very simple. What is the principle? For every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. It's like somebody comes and slaps, then you know that immediately the reactions could be you slap him. That is so simple to understand, but it is not that simple. At the simple level, action results to reactions. As we see result, we naturally assume there is a cause. If the this time harvesting is not good, immediately what is the you will ask what is the cause for that. So that means there is always if you see effect, even if AI or anything, if you see the effect, you will say that okay, this is the cause of that. So cause and effect. Without cause, there is no room for the effect. So we do not accept. Oh, it just happened. So if you go to doctor, you say that doctor, I am having. Doctor said, oh, don't worry, it just happened. Will you go to the doctor again? You will never go to that doctor again. He said, oh, this doctor is, I think he's in on transcendental platform. We don't accept it just happened easily. We look for a cause. So that means whether we accept or no, we are intuitively know that there is a cause and effect failure. So we understand that action leads to the reactions or results. So this is the simplest understanding of karma. But is that the complete understanding that there is action and there is a reaction? No. Why? For example, as Prabhu gave example, Prabhu gave example of that. You put in your hand and you get burned. You have immediate reaction. Now, if you stay in the sun for many hours, and you may have this sunburn later. Or if you eat nutritious food, your strength develops gradually after some time. So once we went to the doctor, and one devotee is having vitamin D deficiency. So and said, how long you have been going? I mean, standing in Surya Dev? She said almost a year. So it's not like instantly you get. So karma leads to the result, but now what is another complication factor? What is the freedom? The degree of freedom is coming into picture. Another variable is coming into picture here. Time factor. Very good. So initially we saw karma result to the phala. Now karma plus okay, Sanskrit word kala. Karma plus kala equal to phala, right? It's not that if you slap it, I slap. That's immediate result. And sometimes you study for whole 1 year and you get the result for things. One of my friend who has been studying for 8 years to crack IS exam, right? So 7 years of time, kala is there. So you don't get immediate things. So if you plant herbs, they grow quickly. But if you plant mango, it will take time. So depend upon what kind of seeds we are sowing, so that karma, the action, plus kala equal to time is very essential factor. Is that now this is we added one more variable. Earlier, what was the variable? Karma leads to the phala. Then we added karma plus kala equal to. Is that the complete understanding? Now, some people eat anything, they still remain healthy. Some other people, even if little bit variation in the food, then the slight variation, there is imbalance. So then what is that another factor coming into the picture? Sometimes we have very common questions. Why do good things happen to the bad people and vice versa? So something more is involved. What is that? Huh? Fantastic. And the third factor is called as the past karma. In Sanskrit, it is also called as daiva. So daiva explains natural talent. Somebody is studying for hours and hours together, still he cannot crack. But we had one devotee's son, and last Sunday we met him. He said, "You have exam, yes, Prabhu. Then you are not studying, Prabhu. I just study and I get the, I can crack the any exam." So some are naturally talent, intelligence, inclinations, health, wealth, some many other things are there. So one child draw beautifully at age 5, whereas another struggle depends. Sometimes, like you see, some devotees or some kids are expert in painting, and even if you are grown up, still if you draw that picture, you have to write the bottom. This is the truck. This is the car. This is the peacock. So because we will not able to know that what is this. So this talent, where does it come? So now what is our equation, Prabhu? Karma, Kala, Daiva, all those things result to the phala. Even if you are Sachin Tendulkar, there are many Sachin Tendulkars, but only one can get. Even if you are technically very sound, even we might be have guru like Ramakant Ashrekar, but you cannot become Sachin Tendulkar. Why? Even if you have talent, you are putting efforts. There is a kala, there is a karma, you don't have daiva. So the third factor is not there. So this is the complete understanding that we have, that sometimes we say that, oh, I see that I am putting, Prabhu, Sadhu Sevan Prabhu, I am putting a lot of effort, but the result is not coming because maybe one of the factor is missing here, that it could be daiva. So daiva is what we can say, that past karma. Daiva netrena, Bhagavatam third canto, where the Jantur Uvacha, the prayers by the small baby in the womb of mother, it prays, and he says that all the things are being arranged by Daiva Netrena. It is by the superior arrangement of the Daiva. So now our Bangalore devotees are very intelligent and logical devotees. They said, Prabhu, what is the combination of 50% of the past karma or 50% of the present karma? What do you think? Like, yes, Prabhu, what do you think? What is the proportion of what is the ingredient? Like, I put 50% this karma and my 50% of the past karma will help us.
Deva is not the controllable. You cannot control the deva, right? You can only control the karma and karma. That's something which is not possible. Or karma and
Okay. So that is why this karma, it is not like that, oh, 50% of the past karma, 50% of the present karma, 90% of the past, and there's nothing like that. So when our Vedic culture, Vedic scripture talks about karma philosophy does not talk about in terms of the punishment. Baby is crying in the middle of the night, and the mother gets up and says that you are crying because of your karma. Does mother do that? So what does mother do? She takes care of that. So this karma philosophy is not to put somebody into the things, like somebody is going to the difficulties, and then we sometimes it happens if we are very or enthusiastic, and somebody is suffering. Prabhu, you are suffering because of your past karma. Do you do that? What do you do that? Try to help him, console him, uplift his consciousness.
just get rid of that.
Yes. So karma is not to put that kind of a punishment philosophy. It is a not the look backward philosophy. It is a look forward philosophy. When our dear Lord Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, when the Arjuna is about to fight, he said, Arjuna, what was your past karma that you got into this difficulty? Did he ask that? What he said? Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmaram yuddacha. Oh my dear Arjun, you fight. He did not open the page of okay, you have this daiva and all things. No. So karma philosophy. So then, what is the main principle of the karma philosophy that Vedic culture emphasizes? For what purpose it actually emphasizes so much? Have you seen that karma philosophy going in the past? Oh, you are this person, and because of that you are suffering this. What is the more emphasis of this karma philosophy? Future, okay. Not to look backward, okay. Prescribed duties. Don't do the same mistake again. What actions we do matters, okay, very good. I mean, it's all a good. What I was looking for is that Vedic philosophy, Vedic literature talks about accountability. This karma is for accountability. Whatever I do, I will actually get. Sometimes we get some reaction, oh, it's because of that. But when we understand nothing happens accidental in this material world, there is always a cause. And who is responsible for that? Purusha sukha dukkha na bhoktrutve hetura uchyate. So all the sukha and dukkha that we get in our life, it is mainly because of Purusha sukha dukkha nam. It is because of our own desire, nothing else. So if Vedic literature gives a lot of emphasis on karma philosophy, it does not talk about going and digging that what you are. It doesn't waste time on that. It says that be accountable. We are responsible for our own action and the result, of course. When you do action, so that help us. Now, while when we having understood that we are accountable, so how does it help us to? Will be careful, responsible, will not blame others. Biggest thing that I think because of Prabhu, I'm getting this problem. And it absolutely has nothing to do with my problems, but somehow we said, I'm suffering because of you. So the blame game will not be there. What else? Think before act. Accountability. Very nice. Before act. You would have seen in our Gita course that if you are jumping, you have a choice before you take a decision. Once you have taken a decision, and then instead of law of karma, law of gravity will come into picture. W equal to mg with the mass and gravity 9.81 meter per second square. You will fall down very badly, right? So, but you have a choice until you begin. But once you have taken a decision, then once the arrow is gone, so you cannot undo in life. Control Z is not possible. Imagine you will have control Z in life. Just for a side discussion, what would have happened, Sadhu Sevan Prabhu? I don't know. What can you imagine what would happen? Control Z. Okay. So, but yeah, it's good that because if control Z is there, I probably it could have been very complicated in life. Yes, Prabhu, what do you think? Prabhu is nodding. What do you think? It's complicated, right? How do you think it will be complicated? I'm just curious. I don't know. I'm just thinking. Imagine.
Always we go back, like, we thought like something went wrong, we try to make it correct. But because of that, other things are getting impacted that we don't know after some time. Right?
Okay.
Then we are making other before it
So it's very complicated, right? So that's why Lord is very intelligent. He knows what is good for us. Sometimes we say, "Gosh, wish I have the option to go back into the life," but then take accountability. Even today is not even late. So the starting point and the rate of progress, are influenced by Daiva. So Daiva, Karma, and Kala equal to Phala. So if you take the example of farmer, Kisan. So what would be the example? What would be the Daiva? What would be Karma? And what will be Kala? Okay. Rain, environment. Then Karma, flowing and sowing the seed. Kala, waiting time, season. So it doesn't come like yesterday you sow the paddy and okay, immediately we get into, then we put into the mill and then come to the Sarjapur Sunday festival, and no, it takes time. And of course, similarly for the childbirth, doesn't happen that. So there is a union, then there is a gestation, and then there is the conception and health. So all three are required. And Bhagavad Gita, there is one shloka, chapter 18, shloka number 14, that all our results, there are 5 factors. So similar to that. So it's not that sometimes people say, oh, I'm putting same effort, but I'm not getting the results because all 3 factors are not favorable. So, so now, having said this karma, so this karma is very, very complicated, very gahana. and we have been working since time immemorial. There is no beginning and end that we started into that. And when this karma, so what is the one of the biggest result that we get from doing one any activities? Karma. Reaction is one thing, but apart from the reaction, what happens? Cycle. But how the cycle repeats? Sorry, bro. Attachment. How does that attachment comes? Karma. Okay.
Our reaction is different. So we need to further
Okay. So when you do any activity, what is the result of that in our consciousness? You are the doer. Okay. Prakriti kriya manani. Okay. Okay. Sanskara also. That is the biggest thing. It creates impression. It creates sanskaras. It creates vasana. So just do it. Today's slogan is just do it. But when you do just do it one time, it creates, and then what will happen? You will do just do it again second time, and we will do third time, then fourth time, and fifth time. By the time you are realize this granthi become very strong, and now how to cut that you do not know. Has anybody, any of your friends, started any any habit addiction? Yeah, that is the result of that. Any habit thinking that I will into the addiction. It's just to be cool, right? Prabhupada was saying that. Prabhupada was in the United States of America, and they were smoking. And they said, oh, it's cool to smoke. Prabhupada said, it's a fire there, and how can it be cool there, right? So anybody started smoking or drinking or all these things, anybody in the past had he started with the think, okay, that it is, I'll just do one time and I will be there. When we were in engineering college, one of my roommate, he had a habit of taking something called gutka. Have you heard about gutka? So he will take one and then he will rub it so all the tobaccos and everything is gone, and then he will chew that. Then, as this was the second year story, third year story, and fourth year story. And you know what happens, as Mataji said, that everything that we do, result is okay, but the more important that it creates impression, and that impression is such that you would like to do it again, and not only do it, you want to do it again, but with much more vega, with much more urge. To give a simple example, maybe Mataji's may correlate that. If you take Pani Puri one time, and when next time you see Pani Puri, of course, not to that even our devotees, boys, and when you see Pani Puri next one time, what will happen, Sadhu Sivam Prabhu? Next time, oh, it's last time when I had, it tasted very good, I should take it. So the urge becomes even much more stronger. So you do second time, what will happen? More stronger, and that is how this addiction comes into picture, and it becomes so stronger that you cannot go and control jad in life. Because even if you take some knot here, if you just it becomes very difficult. So finally what you need, you have to cut that, and for that we have to have a sword. And what is that sword? It is being mentioned here. So Prabhupada says here, like, so now this karma granthi, what is the, I mean, if somebody says it's okay, Prabhupada was in Australia, and one audience, one of the said that if you do all nonsense, you become a dog. He stood up and said that I'm okay to become a dog. So now, what is the problem with this karma granthi? What is the problem? It's okay to have granthi, right? What is karma granthi? What is that karma granthi? What is the translation that you understand? The reactions, the knots, it becomes so stronger. So what is the problem with that? What is the difficulty? Why one should cut that karma granthi? We will be suffering every time because it becomes more and more stronger. This karma granthi, have you ever tried that if the thread, once you have some knot and you try to solve that knot, it becomes so stronger that it is impossible to do that. It becomes even more stronger. Suffering, what else? And the result of that, we may even fall down into the lower spaces. And what is the problem if you fall into the lower spaces? It's okay, I'm happy to be dog. Somebody said I'm happy. What is the problem? Because the dog cannot come to the Sunday feast program. He cannot chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare. So because these karma granthis, they are tied very strongly with the, like somebody has a criminal background, he has been caught by the police, he's been tied by the, right? You would have seen these recent political things. The Venezuela, right? The previous night he was the president. Next day morning he became a criminal prisoner, and both the hands are tied. Karma with the ropes, and there is no opportunity to move. And as you practice Krishna consciousness, that this becomes free, then you can even go to the different planets anywhere and everywhere freely, just like a Devarsi Naraji. Doesn't need passport, doesn't need visa, he can go anywhere, anytime, because these karma granthis are not there. The karma granthis, they bound like a criminal person. You cannot be move here, you cannot move there. It is very difficult. If you are put in a closed room for today, if our Prabhu switches off light, he says send a piece and click everything, you cannot stay here for 1 hour, what to talk about one day. But this karma granthi are so strong, it actually binds up, and we suffer because of that, just like a criminal. So this cycle, every action that we do, it creates sanskaras, and because of that sanskaras, this becomes stronger, stronger, and stronger. The more we actually get into this karma, the more it becomes stronger, more difficult it becomes to get free from this karma granthi. And it begins with the ahankara, and the ahankara is the misidentification of our who are we. And what is our misidentification? Sarvopade vinirmuktam tat paratven nirmalaina rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktir uchyate. Sarvopade vinirmuktam. So all these upadhis that we have, all these ahankaras, misidentification that we are this body. Our first misidentification that we are this body. And because we are this body, everything we do in relationship with body. And in Bhagavatam, very soon we'll come to the 5th canto, 5th chapter. There is one more time it is mentioned Hrudaya Granthi. What is mentioned? Today it is talking about Karma Granthi. And this shloka is very famous. You would have heard that. Pumsa Sriya Mithun Bhavam Etam Tayar Mitho Hrudaya Granthim Aho Ato Graha Kshetra Sutapta Vittaher Janasya Moham Aham Mameti. So once we get into this Hrudaya Granthi, the knots of that, and then we know Graha, Kshetra, Sutapa. What is that Graha, Kshetra, Sutapa? Graha means house, my place, Sutapa, my child, my children, Vitta, my money, and then Janasya Moha, Aham Mameti. Then one completely get Moha, that this is my and this is mine, and we are completely lost. So Srimad Bhagavatam, this knot, Prabhupada says that is very difficult to cut. So how do we do that? And that is where this shloka talks about that, how to get rid of these granthis. So having understood this karma is so gahana, so complicated, and it creates this granthi. So the question comes naturally that how to get rid of this knot. And Prabhupada says here that creates a knot which must be cut. We have no option. We cannot say that, okay, I'm very happy with this karma granthi. Prabhupada in the second line of the purport says that we must cut it. And then Prabhupada says that, Prabhupada talks about that once we cut this knot, what will happen? We'll get liberated. And Prabhupada says that, he gives the definition of liberation. What do you mean by liberation? Huh? Yes, very good. Mataji is right on that. Right there. Muktir hitva anyatha rupam swarupena vyavastita. Very nice. So that is the definition of. So for different people, the definition of liberation can be different. For someone says that the life is suffering, full of suffering. So the root cause of all suffering is desire, and to get rid of that is the purpose of life. And then after that, what happened? Nirvana. Or somebody will be that liberation means to merge with absolute truth. But for Vaishnava, the definition of that, the liberation is the permanent situation in the form of living entity. after he gives up the changeable gross and subtle bodies, which is mukti hitva anyatha rupam, all the other rupas, you give up this all other rupas, swarupena vyavastita, you get situated in your constitutional position. And what is the constitutional position of the living entities? Jivere Swarupa hai Krishnera Nityada. The nature of all the living entity is that we are eternally part and parcel of our dear Lord Sri Krishna. And that is the Swarupena. No other things. Not to get Jnana, that everything is suffering. The cause of suffering is desire. If you get rid of desire, then everything will end, and then you go to Nirvana. So that's why all the Vaishnava Acharya says that liberation or mukti is not the purpose. Rather, it is the Srila Prabhupada writes here. Liberation is the byproduct of bhakti. Why it is a byproduct of bhakti? Just like now, if you say, if you get rid of jail, like if we are in jail, prison house, the first purpose that I will get rid of this, my liberation from is that to get free from the jail. Then after you get free from the jail, what you do? Don't ask that question. I do not know what to do. Just my purpose is to get rid of the jail. After that, what will you do? No, I will be free. Is that the right understanding? Or I will get free and I will do something? What do you think? So then what is the Vaishnava Acharya's understanding? What they tell us, what is the liberation means? I will free from that, then I am free from suffering, now I am out of jail, nothing to be done. So then how long you can remain without doing nothing? Yes, Prabhu? Your name, Prabhu? Shakti, powerful. When there is a Shakti, and there is a Shaktiman, and the source of all Shakti is the Shaktiman, who is the source of everything, all the potencies. So what do you think, Prabhu? So when we are free from jail, that is the purpose, or I free from, so you know what is the purpose of the jail? Jail is the reformation. So once you reform yourself, you have some habit of doing some criminal activity, you go there, you reform yourself, but once you come out, you don't do anything. No, you live like a normal citizen. So you engage into the activity. So similarly, when you get liberated, you continue to act into the devotional service. You just don't stop. That is not the very ideal situation. How long you can be free from the jail and then do nothing? You cannot, because karmani vadi karaste mahapaleshu akarmani. You cannot remain idle doing nothing for a long period of time. That is the nature of the soul, to be do something. Because Jivere Swarupai Krishna Nityadas. Our nature is to be servant of Lord Sri Krishna. So one has to act, or one has to be active in the service of Krishna. Anything other than that is like a free from prison but doing nothing. So Acharyas always says that liberation is the byproduct of devotional service. Prabhupada writes here, is the byproduct of that. We just discussed already. Why it is a byproduct? What do you mean by byproduct? It comes along with that. That is not the one that you are targeting. That is not the one you are the goal. Is Shakti Prabhu? This is not the focus of our thing. Our focus is to devotional service unto Lord Sri Krishna. So we had that material. There was a plot or chart prepared by His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj disciples temple. Right here. Yes, exactly. So if you see, the living entity is there, and from the living entity, something goes along with that. Have you seen that very carefully? Yes. And then what happened once you go to the Vaikuntha, the Hare Krishna gets cut there? No, it continues. So when we are in Gita course some few years back, one new person came and he was asking that now I started chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. When will I become God? But that says that even if you have you seen that after class, when you get opportunity, you see that there is something goes like this, and even if you go to that place from where Yadgatva Nivartate Tadham, even if you reach there, you will never come back. But when you go there, what you do? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In material life, we are acquainted with that. We have some means to get something else. Like we do study for what? To get job. I mean, mark is intermediate, but final is only double and job, right? Finally, you want only that. Now, that means is different and the goal is different. For devotional service, means and the goal is the same. Our means is a bhakti, our goal is also bhakti. So it doesn't mean after we get liberated, we engage something else different, which was our goal. No, our goal is always a devotional service, and after getting liberated is also. That's why liberation, what is generally called as moksha from the cycle of birth and death, it automatically it is the not the main product, it is byproduct of that. You are doing something and you will get that as well, but the main thing is न धनम न जनम न सुंदरीम कविता मा जगति से काम है मम जन्मनि जन्मनि स्वरे भवतात भक्तिर अहितु केला. Whether I am here, there, I have follower, I don't have follower, whether I have wealth, doesn't matter. Oh my dear Lord, just give me your devotional service, birth after birth. That is what is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prayer, Sikshastakam. He said, that doesn't, I don't need anything. So even if we go there, we still continue devotional service. Now, how do we get rid of this karma granthi? And we'll main topic we don't even started now. What is the how do you cut this karma granthi? Mata saying what? Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama. What do you think if you have karma, jnana, or wealth, education, our name, fame can cut these karma granthis? Why? Is it possible? Sometimes we see Bhagavatam 6th canto, there is something mentioned about atonement, prayachitta. We can also do some prayachitta, but can we get the karma granthis? Endaku, why? Tendency will be there. Very good, very nice. So, even if you do prayachitta, you know what is prayachitta? Atonement. Vedic literature also talks about that. If you do some action which is very abominable, so you have to get some, you have to punish yourself, or there will be some prayachitta, atonement. By doing that, you can minimize or you can get rid of some result which is about to come. Right? So that is called atonement. But you may minimize the reaction. You may get free from the reaction. What about sanskaras or the impression that lies within our heart? And that only can be freed by bhakti. And that is why Padma Purana says that aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam phalam mukam kramaneva pralita Vishnu bhakti ratatmakam kramaneva. This can be even the aprarabdha, then kutam, then bijam, all those things can be kramaneva. By gradually one can get rid. How? Vishnu Bhakti Ratatmakam, by engaging in the devotional service unto Lord Sri Krishna. And that is what is mentioned here. That Prabhupada says that, and of course Prabhupada is also talking about karma yoga and jnana yoga. So karma and yoga, karma, just karma and karma jnana cannot rid oneself from all this karma granthi. It is only by bhakti one can actually get rid of that. And even Prabhupada is touching here very quickly that even if you are engaging in the karma, if there is not dash with the devotional service, overcoated. If it is not overcoated with the devotional service, it is not called as karma yoga. Prabhupada says that karma overcoated with devotional, then it is called as karma yoga. Because anything you have to have yoga or connection with the Supreme Lord, there must be devotional service, bhakti. So this is a bhakti mishra karma. If somebody had a bhakti but is also engaging in the karma, so this is a karma yoga. Without bhakti, this remains just karma. And similarly, Prabhupada says that jnana as well. Jnana without overcoating with the devotional service, it is not jnana yoga. So even if you are doing karma, even if you are doing jnana, we must have a Bhakti, devotional service. Because devotional service, you cannot get the mercy of Lord Sri Krishna. And but is bhakti dependent of karma and jnana? That we already discussed. Bhakti is independent of that. Now the question is that how do we hear what is the essence of that? How can we get rid of this karma granthi? How we can get rid of the karma granthi? That is there, but very specific word used. Specific. Yes. Anudhasina yukta. Anudhasina. Right, that is the shloka talks about. Anudhasina. Asina means sword. Anudhyana. Dhyana means remembrance. So we can cut this karma granthi only by remembrance of dear Lord Sri Krishna. Taking the sword of the remembrance of Lord Sri Krishna, then only we can do that. And how do you remember Krishna? And that is why Prabhupada says that the Kovida means the intelligent person, he will be engaging in the activity of Lord Sri Krishna by the four ways, and the four ways mentioned in the purport or last paragraph of the purport. By doing that, one can remember Krishna, and that is nothing but the previous shloka. And what is that? Tasmadena manasa bhagavan satvatam pati srotavya kirtitavescha deyam pujyascha nityadaha. The four things. Tasmad ekena manasa means one pointed attention. One should Bhagavatam Satvatam Pati. Satvatam means the devotees, the master of the devotees, Bhagavan. What we should do? Srotavya means hearing. Kirtitavyascha glorifying. Dheya remembering. Pujyascha worshiping. And Nityadaha constantly. By doing these four things, Prabhupada says that by hearing about him, by glorifying him, by remembering him, and by worshipping him always. Now somebody said, what is the proof that Prabhupada is writing these things? What is the proof? The previous shloka, 2.1.2.14, Tasmad Aiken Manasa, just now we read. So when Prabhupada is writing every sentence, there is always a praman. So the four things that Prabhupada is mentioning, which is referring to the previous shloka, which is Srotavya, Kirtitavyacha, Dheya, and Puja. When we do that, we will always remember Krishna. And when we do that, that is the perfect way of devotional service. Prabhupada says that by worshipping him always without cessation, that is the perfect way of devotional service. Just last few things and then we'll close here. How do you remember someone? How do you remember someone? Because here the sword is what? Remembrance of Krishna. When we are getting into all this entanglement, we have to remember Lord Sri Krishna. And when we remember Lord Sri Krishna, with that remembrance, we can actually cut the knot. Now, how can we remember someone? Constantly thinking about him. Very good. Discussing about him. Hearing, actually, the thing is already there in shloka, Srotavya Kirtitavya. Something that you always hear about someone, then you will talk about that. Yes, Shakti Prabhu, when you hear about someone, now for example, when you are in college, and if you are that time when I'm talking long once upon time, so when you are a cricket follower, so you will always hear about what he has done. Then you will remember him. You will put his photo there, and then you will talk about him. You will read about him. What is the article is there in Times of India or something that you will read about him. And the more you hear about him, not only you will pause there, we'll go to our friend. You know what happened yesterday? He had a century. So now all these principles is coming from our dear Lord Sri Krishna. The same principles. What we have to do? We have to hear about him. When we hear about him, then what you do? Go, Srotavya, then you Kirtitavya. You go to somewhere, you go to your Bhakti Ruksha, talk to your neighbor, your friend, your colleague, and you glorify him, call someone, Jabardasti call Karo Prabhu, you know what happened, and hold him for half an hour. He said that this is the Bhagavatam shloka talks about Srotavya, Kirtitavya, then I'm telling them. So Kirtitavya is not that way, but in Kirtitavya, they remember and engage into the worship of Krishna. By doing that, you will able to remember Krishna, and ultimately the purpose of our life is Ante Narayana Smruti or Antakale cha Mam 8.5. Antakale cha Mam eva Smaran Muktva Kalevaram. If you remember Krishna at the end of our life is successful. But to remember Krishna there, we have to do Srotavya, Kirtitavya, Dheya, Pujyata. All these four things, and Prabhupada says that this is the perfect way of devotional service. Now, having heard that, Sutta Goswami is saying, is there anyone Kona Kuryat Katharatim? Is there anyone who will not pay attention to his message? So what does it mean? What does it mean? Everyone should. Doesn't matter. It doesn't say that it's only the people, handful people in Sarjapur Center or East Bangalore. Sarjapur comes into which part of Bangalore? South or East only? So same as East. Okay. So only the East part of Bangalore or Karnataka or Bharatvarsha. No. Kona Kuryat Katha Ratim. So the intelligent, the Kovida, the intelligent person will actually come to the conclusion that Kona Kuryat Katharati, one should hear Krishna Katha, Vasudev Katha. If we do not hear, then he is not intelligent. How do you know when somebody is intelligent? How do you know? If somebody asks, are you intelligent? Yes, I can solve all the AI problems and chat GPT and the Python and all the things. The real intelligent person is that who actually hears the Katha of Vasudeva. Kona Kuryat Katha Rati. So the conclusion is that this karma granthi is very complicated, and with the karma granthis either we'll have sufferings or challenging life. To cut that karma granthi, neither karma or jnana will help. It is only devotional service will help. And Prabhupada summarizes the four way of devotional service. The best way of engaging in the devotional service is Srotavya, Kirtitavya, Dheya and Puja. By doing that, one can do that. And is there anyone who will not give pay attention to that message? And with that, Sutta Goswami ends this shloka that Kona Kuryat Katha Aratim. Is there anyone who will never give attention to that? So that means, in a positive way, we should pay attention. We should always hear about Katha Ratim. Not only here, we should Ratim. We should develop attachment to the pastimes of our dear Lord, Sri Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I don't know what was the time. It's 12:42. Any quick comment, question? Prabhu, are we super late? Prabhu said no. He gave a thumbs up. Any comments or questions? Hanji Prabhu. Yes, sir. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, place also matters in this karma.
Is a part of because for example, if one has to suffer, that he has to be hungry, then he has to get born where there is no basic necessities, right? Like for example, some forest countries or where there is absolutely even there is bereft of all the basic facilities. So the place also matters that, and that is where Bharat Bhumite Haile Manushya Janma Yar Janma Sarthak Kare Kara Upakar. By having taken birth in this human form of life, one should definitely engage in the service of dear Lord Sri Krishna. So place matters. Imagine we are born unfortunately to the western part of our boundary. What would happen? Or even further western part of that, we will not be allowed to do that. Devotees, one sannyasi came to our center and he said that if you go to the other countries, that you cannot keep all the chappals like this, because as soon as you keep the chappals there, then all the intelligence agencies will come to know something is happening, and then so what they do, they keep their chappal in their bag, and because it is not allowed to gather like this. So one day what happened, one person from their intelligence agency, he tonsure his head, and he was also part of that. Ye log kya karte hai? What do they do? And he was almost for a month or two saying that are they doing something against my country or they have some other hidden agenda. Of course, we have no other agenda. Our agenda is Srotavya Kirtitavya Cha Dheya Puja. That is our agenda. No other agenda other than that. So, yes, so place matters. That if we are so fortunate to be born in this pavitra, sacred Bharat Bhumi, that we have opportunity to hear Krishna's name. We can chant Krishna's name openly. Of course, some part of the India now they are giving putting the sanctions that you cannot chant the name of Lord Hari. You have to take permission, and this is the 2026. And I'm very sorry, and I'm feeling so bad that what will happen down the line, 10 years or 20 years, we may not even be allowed to chant the name of Lord Hari, and it is not very far. Even today itself, you have to take a permission from one of the southern countries, one southern states. We have to take a permission to chant the name of Lord Hari on the road. Does that help, Prabhu? Place matters a lot. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. So, what will be your takeaway point? Just one from Prabhu's and one from Mataji's.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I think you are wonderful. That I'm very fond of the diagnosis of the problem.